वीडियो को हिंदी में देखने के लिए डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करें। हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू DTC क्लासेस। In this video, we are going to discuss the key concepts, standard symbols, basic terminologies, and standard formulae of the chapter. The most important part of the video is the discussion of the critical area where most students lose their marks. So it would be a good thing if you note those mistakes down and made sure that you did not commit them. Probability means the ability to probable. The word probable means to guess. Not just guess without any logic, but to have a calculated guess. So basically, if I want to know that what is the probability that today it will rain or not, the class will happen today or not, India will win a match or not, etc. Boards exam will happen online or offline. So therefore, these calculations will require some information. We'll have to see what are the background information, and then according to those information, we'll be calculating the probability. So these are not just pure guesses. These are calculated guesses. So what we say, the probability is equal to the term chance. It is almost approximately equal to the term chance. So basically, what is the chance that it will rain? So the meteorological department makes a huge calculation, does a good background study over it, and then predicts. So basically, probability is like a prediction for future, but it is not just a wild prediction. It is a prediction which is based on certain information. Obviously, you may be wrong, but the chance, that is what we want to know. What is the chance that I am right? So what is probability? How do we calculate probability? The formula is probability of an event, PE, any event, is equals to number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes. For an example, if I toss a coin, so there are two possible outcomes, head or tails. So therefore, the number of total outcomes is tail. If I toss a coin, I'll call out. For an example, it's a match going on, and the team tosses. So one team calls out heads. Suppose India calls out heads. So if head occurs, then India wins. If tail occurs, then India loses the toss. So therefore, we can say that the favorable outcome is one outcome, that is head. Only that one outcome will make India win the toss. Else it will lose it. So therefore, 1 by 2, that is 0.5. That is the probability for getting heads. Now, probability can always be equal to or less or greater than 0, or equal to or less than 1. That simply means probability of any event lies between 0 and 1. Like we calculated the probability of getting heads as 0.5. So therefore, we have to convert it to decimal terms, and then we'll see what is the probability. If a certain event has a probability 0, that means that it is an impossible event. That simply means that there is no chance of the event happening. For an example, if I throw a die, what is the chance of getting a number greater than 6? It is not possible to get a number greater than 6 in a throw of a single die. So therefore, it's an impossible event. Else, the probability can also be equal to 1. That simply means that it's a sure chance that the probability will happen. It is called a sure event. That is, it's a 100% chance that the event will happen. That simply means that the event will happen. For an example, if I throw a die, what is the probability of getting a number less than 7? So a number less than 7, all the numbers will be less than 7 on a die. So therefore, the probability is 100%. So that is 1. 6 by 6, that is 1. So probability can lie between 0 and 1, 0 and 1 both including. Probability of an event is represented by the symbol PE. Probability of not happening of that event is represented by the symbol PE bar. So that simply means that if a certain event is represented by E and the probability of that event is PE, then what is the probability of that event not happening? For an example, boards exam will happen online is the event. So what is the probability that board exams will not happen online? That is probability E bar, which is also called E complement. So PE bar is equals to 1 minus PE. So if the probability of boards exam happening online is 80%, then the probability of it not happening online is obviously 20%, because nothing can be greater than 100%. 100% simply means 1. So therefore, 1 minus PE. So if we already know that suppose the winning of the probability of winning match for India is 80%, that is 0.8. Therefore, what is the probability that India will not win a certain match? So therefore, that will be P, E bar. That is, India will not win the match is equals to 1 minus 0.8. That is 0.2. Quite a few sums of probability are based on playing cards. So quite a lot of you students have already used playing cards, have played with them. So you know what they look like. But there are still quite a lot of students who have not seen playing cards or who do not play with playing cards. So therefore, you must listen very carefully what these are and how to solve those sums. So cards are basically, playing cards are 52 in number. So all playing cards are 52 cards. So number of total cards is 52. The cards come in two colors. So basically the cards are divided into two colors. Half of them are black and half of them are red. So if I divide 52 by 2, so we get number of cards in each color is basically 26, because half 26 are black and 26 are red. Now each color is divided into two designs. These designs are called suits, S-U-I-T. So therefore we have two suits in black which are called spade and clubs, and two suits in red, that is hearts and diamonds. These are the designs, what they look like, but obviously designs do not matter, the names matter here. So you need to remember spade, clubs, hearts, diamonds. So basically 26 cards are divided into 2, that is 13 each. So number of cards of each suit is 13. Of each suit, all those 13 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are written something on the card. What can be those things written? A, K, Q, J, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. These things could be written on the cards. A stands for ace, A-C-E. K stands for king, K-I-N-G. Q stands for queen, Q-U-E-E-N. And J stands for jack, that is J-A-C-K. You can see that 4 of these 13 cards are letter cards because they have letters written on them. So each suit contains 4 cards, that is 4 times. That's 16 cards. So number of letter cards equals to 16. Now out of these 4 cards, 3 cards, that is king, queen and jack, K, Q, J, have faces drawn on those cards. So therefore they are also called face cards. So 3 cards for every suit, that is 4 3s are 12. So number of face cards is equals to 12. Now the number cards, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards have numbers written on them. They are called number cards. So 9 for every suit, that is 9 4s are 36. So therefore the number of cards are 36. To solve any sum based on playing cards, you need to remember these things. If you do not remember them properly, you will not be able to solve the sums. Quite a lot of sums of the chapter are based on tossing of coins. Either the sum may have tossing 1 coin, tossing 2 coin, or tossing 3 coins. Or they may say that we have tossed 1 coin twice, that is same as tossing 2 coins, or we have tossed 1 coin thrice, that is same as tossing 3 coins. So every time you need to understand what is the sample space. What is the sample space? Sample space means noting down all the options that are available for that particular event. So if the event is tossing 1 coin, the sample space is logically heads or tails. So either head can appear on the coin or tail can appear on the coin. So therefore number of total outcomes is 2. But if 2 coins are tossed, we could have these of the 4 possible outcomes. Either both the coins have heads, either both the coins have tails, either the first coin has head and the second toss has tails, or the first toss has tails and the second one has heads. So therefore there are 4 possible total outcomes. It is possible that if 3 coins are tossed, there are 8 possibilities. All the 3 coins might have heads. 2 coins, the first 2 coins have heads and the third one has tails. First and third has heads and the second has tails. Last 2 has heads and the first one has tails. Or the first 2 might have tails and there could be the last one has heads. The second one might have heads and the first and third may have tails. Last 2 may have tails and the first one may have heads, or all 3 may have tails. So therefore, the number of total outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8. So in any sum where tossing of coin is concerned, you need to remember the sample space. And it is also best to draw the sample space in the exam also. So to write the sample space in the exam also, always remember sample space is a set. So therefore, this will always be included in a curly bracket. That is the second bracket. It will never have a first bracket or a third bracket. Only curly brackets are acceptable. The next variety of problems are based on throwing of dice. So basically we can throw one die, or we can be asked to throw two dice simultaneously, or one die twice. That is same as throwing two dice. We will not be asked to of any sequence that has involvement of more than two dice. So if we throw one dice, the sample space will be either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is, when you throw a die, you can have number 1 appear on top, 2 appear on top, 3 appear on top, 4, 5 or 6. So therefore, total number of outcomes equals to 6. But if you throw two dice, then, or one dice twice, then it can happen that the first dice shows 1, but the second dice might show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It might also happen that the first dice shows 2 and the second dice could show 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. The first dice might show 3 and the other dice can show, the second dice can show either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, and therefore we can have 36 such options. The first dice might show a number and second dice might show another number, and they can be same number, they can be different number. So therefore there can be 36 such options. 6 into 6, that is 36 outcomes. Obviously, this sample space need not to be drawn on the answer sheet, but it is good to remember it. So you need to understand how it came to be. So we wrote first dice has 1 and the second dice can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Similarly, first dice might have 2 and the second dice might have 1. So 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Similarly, it will go on. So you need to understand how this sample space came into being. You do not need to write this sample space because it is huge. From a pack of 52 playing cards, all cards whose numbers are multiples of 3 are removed. A card is now drawn at random. What is the probability that the card drawn is subpart 1, a face card, subpart 2, an even numbered red card? So the question is about playing cards, and of the 52 playing cards that one generally has, all the cards which have multiples of 3 are removed. So therefore the numbered cards which have multiples of 3 are 3, 6 and 9. From every suit, there are 4 suits. So therefore 4 3s are 12. That is, number of cards removed equals to 12. Since we have 52 cards, therefore number of remaining cards equals to 52 minus 12. That is 40. So in the first part, we are asked that we have drawn one card and what is the probability that it is a face card. So therefore, number of face cards is 12 because no face card have been removed. So getting a face card, probability of getting a face card is number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes. Here favorable outcomes are 12 because 12 out of any number, any face card will get a mark, and number of total outcomes is 40 because there are only 40 cards remaining. So therefore 12 by 40, which is equals to 3 by 10 is the answer. Similarly, in the second part, we are asked to calculate the probability of getting an even numbered red card. There are 2 suits of red card and every suits have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 as even numbers, of which 6 has been removed. So therefore 2, 4, 8, 10, that is 4 cards from every suit. That is 4 into 2 from every suit of red. That is 4 2s are 8. So therefore, probability of getting an even numbered red card equals to number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes. That is 8 by 40. 8 is the favorable outcome and 40 is the total outcome. So therefore, 8 by 40, that is 1 by 5 is the answer. 2 coins are tossed once. Find the probability of getting subpart 1, 2 heads, subpart 2, at least 1 tail. It is given in the question that 2 coins have been tossed. So the total sample space becomes head head, head tails, tail heads and tail tails. That means number of total outcomes is 4. In the first part of the question, we are asked to calculate the probability of getting 2 heads. So out of these 4 options, there is only one option which has 2 heads. So therefore, favorable sample space is head-head. So therefore, number of favorable outcomes is equals to 1. Therefore, probability of getting 2 heads is number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes, that is 1 by 4. That becomes our answer. In the second part, we are asked to calculate getting the probability of getting at least one tail. What does at least one tail mean? At least one tail means a minimum of one tail. Anything more than one is also acceptable. So 1 and more simply means at least one. So at least one is 1 and more. So out of all these options, this one has 0 tails. So therefore this is rejected. This one has 1 tails, accepted. 1 tail accepted. 2 tails accepted. So anything 1 and more is accepted. So these 3 options are accepted. So the favorable sample space becomes head tails, tail heads and tail tails. So therefore number of favorable outcomes is equals to 3. So therefore probability of getting at least one tail is equals to number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes is equals to 3 by 4. That becomes our answer. The easiest battle is lost easily. That simply means never underestimate your enemy. So here the enemy is the question. There are a lot of critical areas in this very easy chapter that you might miss and lose quite a lot of marks. So the first thing is sample space. Since total sample space sometimes gets too big, so it is not always required to draw, but if it is in your reach and you are able to draw, then you must draw it. But about favorable sample space, you must draw favorable sample space whenever possible. So whenever there is a requirement, draw the favorable sample space, it is good. Number of total outcomes, number of favorable outcomes, you have to write. You should always write it before that these are the number of total outcomes and these are the number of favorable outcomes. Else teacher is going to cut marks. PE. In the books, it is given PE. That simply means probability of an event. But for that, you need to define an event. Let E be an event such that, etc., etc. But to do that, it's a bit lot tedious. So not to go very lengthy, we can simply write what is given in the question. Like for example, getting 2 heads. So always start with the word getting. Probability of getting something is equals to. Always write the formula. Number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes. Formula carries marks. And the final answer is always in the reduced form. So therefore, if the answer comes 5 by 10, then you have to reduce it to 1 by 2. And then only you will get full marks. Else you will lose lot of marks. So it's a very simple deal. Out of 3, a 3-mark question may give you only 1 because you made quite a lot of mistakes. So you need to be very careful that you write the statement because calculations are very easy. Statements are the most important part here. A box contains some black balls and 30 white balls. If the probability of drawing a black ball is 2/5 of a white ball, find the number of black balls in the box. In the question, it is asked find the number of black balls. So we have already taken let the number of black balls be x. And it is given that the number of white balls is 30. So therefore, total number of balls is 30 plus x. The question also states that the probability of getting a black ball is equal to 2/5 of probability of getting a white ball. So first thing we do is calculate separately the probability of black ball and probability of white ball. So probability of getting white ball is equals to number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes, that is 30 by total, that is 30 plus x. And probability of getting a black ball is number of favorable outcomes by number of total outcomes, that is x by 30 plus x. Now according to the problem, the probability of getting black ball is equals to 2 by 5 into probability of getting a white ball. Probability of getting a black ball is x by 30 plus x. And probability of getting a white ball is 30 by 30 plus x. So here 30 plus x and 30 plus x gets cancelled out. 30 divided by 5 is 6 and 6 into 2, that is 12. So therefore x equals to 12. What is x? X is number of black balls. Therefore number of black balls is equals to 12. If you found the video helpful, please like the video and share it with your friends so that it can reach to the maximum number of people. If you are still having doubt with the concepts of the chapter, or there are certain sums that you are not able to solve, please comment them below so that I can help you to solve them. You can support the channel by clicking the icon and subscribing to the channel. Also, do not forget to press the bell icon so that you never miss any of my updates.